changing lives.
Hello, it's another beautiful evening, and I'm so delighted when I get the opportunity to come into your homes. It's another beautiful day, and you are watching Hope TV, and the program is Love at Home. Yes, on Love at Home, everything is about love. From children, from husbands, from wives, from everybody, we are discussing the family. That is what Love at Home seeks to do. We want to strengthen our families and prepare ourselves to meet Christ in his soon return. The month of October has been an amazing month. It has always been. And this year too has been wonderful. We've been discussing breasts. Breasts. Yes. The first week in October, we looked at the significance of the breast. And we had a doctor and a beautiful nurse taking us through the importance of the breast. Last week, we had two wonderful women taking us through the need or the importance of breast milk. Today, we are looking at Proverbs chapter 5, verse 19, which says that, "Let her breast satisfy you." Hi, yes. We are discussing this. Let me remind you that this program is sponsored by the Angel of Hope. If you are a member, we thank you so much. If you are not, you can kindly join us and support our programs. Today's episode is solely for the married. It is not for the boyfriend, girlfriend. Nah. We want to see what the breast does in our everyday relationship in love. That is what we are discussing today. I am Efia Sewa. Let's go for a quick break. When I come back, I will introduce you to my guests today. You will just love them. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you.
I am an angel of hope.
I'm an angel of hope.
Ubrenio, so do Sika a Baba Hope channel. No one so yasane, yet me the mere some a main chia saw in Choromina, or Daroma, Faumain, Nafa Sika Fasubi, na also Fabra, Yanko Kanyamsem, and ya cra a wonkwa. Star 928 star 34 star 104 hash. And I say 0249 193083. Hope channel, yes, it's Sabrabo. Hope channel, yeah, Gia Cranomqua.
Hello, my beautiful and lovely listener and viewer. You are welcome to Love at Home on Hope Channel Ghana. Today, as I said, we are going to discuss the breast. The breast too is another organ created by God. It has so many functions, and I'm sure you know what it does, because at least it breastfed you till now that you're a big woman or a big man. They say there are other motives or other uses of the breast, and today we want to discuss this in relations to our married life. That is why I said today's program is just for the married ones. So stay tuned as we discuss this program. You can join this discussion on 0559 680066. 0559-680066, and also join us on Facebook and YouTube. You can send your contributions there. We gladly read them for you. To help me do this discussion, I have a fine gentleman. He goes by the name Pastor Josiah Ando. He calls himself, and I support that, the love consultant. You see the way he's repping in the pink. He's in full support of the women.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So, Pastor,
yeah.
love consultant, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I am so delighted to see that you are supporting us in this breast month awareness.
Oh, yes, I have to.
You have to.
Because it is a very important part of our lives. That is what made us to be where we are.
You see?
So we need to support
the
it.
The love consultant is supporting what I said.
All right.
And another beautiful woman. She goes by the name Perfect Odru, Mrs. She's a counseling psychologist. And she loves to discuss issues concerning women and girls. Madam Odru, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
By God's grace, I'm fine. Everybody.
By God.
How are you too?
I am also fine. You see me repping in my pink. So we are all creating, thank you. We are creating awareness in the month of October against breast cancer. And I know you are doing same work wherever you are. And thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So I have the singular honor to invite you, my dear. Call in your friends, call in the family. I didn't say the children. I meant other adults, married people. Let them come as we discuss what it is that we are going to talk about. Let her breast satisfy you. Now, let me start with you, love consultant. Why should breast be mentioned in the Bible? Because when I saw let her breast satisfy you in the Bible, I was wondering what it is doing in the Bible.
Okay.
What is it?
Well, let me say that Proverbs 5:19 is it's actually part of a longer structure.
Okay.
But it is one of the mildest mentions of the breast. There are more, let me say, more serious ones. When you read Song of Songs, you see a lot of allusions being drawn to the breast. I mean, the poet in the book Song of Songs would describe the breast of the Shulamite, that is his wife, says that they are as fawns. They are beautiful to behold. The description is, and he uses a lot of imagery. It's poetic, so it's nice.
Yeah.
So when we read Song of Songs, when we read the book of Proverbs, we see a lot of usages of the breast. And not only that, they are used in other parts of the body. What I would say is that the Bible is all-encompassing. It talks about basically every aspect of our lives, including our sexuality. And the use of the breast in Proverbs 5:19 is playing a dual role.
Okay.
First of all,
I'll come back to
okay.
Counselor Perfect, let me hear from you. Is it not strange that you could see in the Bible that it was talking about the breast, exploring the breast like that?
Thank you, and I'd like to say hello to all viewers. But what I like to say is, you see, God is so loving. He cares about everything we care about. God knows that every little thing that matters to us matters to him also. So in his Bible, he's having even quotation about the care of the breast.
Okay.
Meaning that he knows that a time will come that we are going to have even October, which is going to be set aside to celebrate awareness, breast cancer awareness and all that. So he's admonishing that let her breast satisfy you. Yeah. You see, the breast is a symbol of nurturing. Not just for the pleasure aspect, but it's a symbol of nurturing. So when you give birth, you use the breast to feed, the breast milk is going to feed the child. So you are going to use that to nurture the young ones that you have. It's a source of food So let her breast satisfy you. You should be okay with what you have. You see, in life, if whatever God has given to you, you receive it and you protect it, you are content with it, that's where your blessings comes from.
Okay.
But if you decide to look at others, what they have, compare and contrast, that is where your sadness comes from.
Okay.
So the Lord is saying that let her breast satisfy you.
Hey.
The woman that you have, we'll go deep into this.
Yes.
So let her breast satisfy you, no matter the age or condition of it. Let her breast satisfy you. Ask the husband.
Thank you. But
don't be deceived by the strange woman. In this case, the strange woman is the idolatrous woman. That is a woman who has a husband and is trying to lure other men. And so it is in the midst of this discussion, while he's advising the young man against going for this woman, that he goes on to say, rather, instead of going for that woman, rather be satisfied with the wife of your youth.
Okay.
Now, the idea here is that many men would, after a while, when their wife has become a bit older, they would want to go for younger ones. So he says, be satisfied with the wife of your youth.
Okay.
Let her be like a loving doe.
Okay.
Let her be, and then he now adds, let her breasts satisfy you always. In other words, her breast that satisfied you when she was a young girl should continue to satisfy you even when she becomes an old woman.
Okay.
So that is the idea that is played here. And using the breast here is talking about the woman. That's why we say it is actually a figure of speech used to say that you should be content, you should be satisfied with your wife, whom you married from the time that you were young. But then the other side of it is that in actual fact, the breast actually is used to satisfy the man in this context. And
so in a literal way, it does.
It does.
That metaphorically
too, he's referring to the entire woman, making sure your woman satisfies you. You should have enough with your woman and not to look for breast outside of your woman.
Okay. Now, Counselor Perfect, the wise man was advising the son that he should be satisfied with her breasts. Now, we must keep the breast well so that the man too can be satisfied. In your own view, how do we go about this?
Thank you. You see, if you are young, you are adolescent, and the breast bars start coming up, you realize that per our genes, our heritage, where we are coming from, what you inherit. Some people have bigger ones, develop bigger ones. Some people have medium. We have shapes in breast. That is what today I want people to understand. We have shape in breast. Some have the shape of an orange. It's stiff. It doesn't fall. Even when they give birth to 2 children, you still see that it's still there. We have people who have the pear type. You see that the top is a bit slim, the down part is huge. We have people who have the pawpaw type. Everything is falling. So most people think that if a woman is having a fallen breast, I will not say sagging, fallen breast, it means that the person is old, the person has given birth. No.
Okay.
Per your gene, per what you have inherited, the breast, we have types. So if a lady is having that, it doesn't mean that she has given birth before, she doesn't take care of herself. No. But this is it. If we're a lady and we're growing up, you see, when you have a girl child and she starts having the breast and all that, to control it, so that sometimes you don't have the very huge ones, you can let your girl start using the bra.
To support.
Let them start wearing bra, yes, to protect it, to lift it up. So the more they use the bra when they go to school, and it helps them. And we know that when you come home to, you need to take off the bra. You need not to wear the bra all the time.
Yeah.
Take off the bra and let your breast also what? Feel. Let them have that
Relax.
air around them. Yes, air should pass through because they are it is an organ. So you need not always package them. But you must realize that when you go outside, because of the nipple, some people they think that they don't have their breast is not falling, so they will just wear something and as means they are off to go. No. You see, the nipple attracts men. So in as much you have that firm breast, you need to put on a loose bra so that your nipple will be hidden.
Yeah.
It's not laid like to show your nipple around.
Yeah.
No, you need not to do that. And you need to clean your breast. You see, as ladies, if you want to have that breast that your husband, a wife, you want that breast that your husband will always want to come to, then it should be clean. You see, if you have the breast that is it's bigger, you need to, when you are washing, you need to clean under your breast well. You need to take care of it. You need to make sure that when you sweat, you just, when you come home, take everything off and constantly wash your bra and change them. Some people can use just one bra for the whole week and it doesn't help. You need to be changing. And you see, most people always like the black one. You see, if you always want the black, because the black, you can't detect if it's dirty or what. So just black and it goes. But you need to so that you can wear it with your clothes, white and all that. Get colors. Don't always stick to the one bra and you always wear it. And sometimes it's so stiff that it causes their back, their neck to be paining them. Loosen it up a bit. Go for your cup, measure it, go to the shop, let them measure so that they know that you are using C, you are using cup D, you are using it. Know the type of breast you have and go for the type of bra that will cover everything. And you know, some ladies now put certain things under. No, it's not the best. If you keep on doing that, you realize that your husband will not even like to come near it. Something that is supposed to be pleasure. It's now when they come, they see it and like, it's not attracting them enough.
Yeah.
So when you are at home, package yourself well. Don't just use the wrapper and your breast to be everywhere. It's not only you have given birth. Just package yourself well. And let's move, clean it. And mostly, you see, the nipple, if you wash and you don't clean that part well, when they are sagging, they feel that little bit dirt and those getting into their mouth. Some men who are a bit hygienic, who are hygiene conscious, who will not want to come near you again. So you need to wash, clean, and put off the bra so that our breast can breathe.
Okay, thank you very much, Councillor Perfect. Now, love consultant, is it true that men will they normally have like a particular size of breast? Is it true?
Yeah, very true. Different people have different preferences. It is not only with breast, with everything in life. There are those who like fufu, and there are those who like banku. When it comes to fruits, there are those who, she talked about fruits, so let me use fruits. There are those who prefer bananas,
the pear and the mangoes.
The pears to mangoes, watermelons, oranges, and all that. So when it comes to the breasts, different men have different preferences. And there are men who would prefer smaller breasts, and there are men who prefer to have bigger ones. It is part of, normally these things actually develop as part of the person's environment. Okay. So the person is growing, maybe young, and maybe all around him family members who have bigger breasts. He is likely to get attracted to those. Or maybe, if not about family, about the friends around. Everybody is talking about, oh, this is big breast, this is nice. Oh, this breast is cute, this is nice. That will inform what the person will grow up liking. And so we have married men, or young men who are getting married or who want, and they have the type of woman they prefer when
based
it comes
on the breast.
Yes, when it comes to the physicals, and the breast is one of them.
Okay.
So
now
yes,
let me still come to you. What is it about the breast that you like so much?
Okay.
Is it not an ordinary organ?
Body part. Well, yeah, it is a body part. Let me liken it to what Solomon did in the book of Song of Songs. what he does is that he tries to compare parts of his woman's body to some elements of nature.
Okay, so
Now,
imaginary.
Exactly. So what is it about a flower that makes it beautiful that we want to look at it and we are like, oh, this flower is nice? There is something in nature that is beautiful. God made it so. Some things are naturally nice in the eye of the person. They are beautiful to behold. Trees, fruits, flowers, human beings, body parts of human beings. And for the male person, body parts of the female, one of them, and because we are talking about that, I wouldn't talk about the others.
The rest, okay.
But one of them which the male person would normally look and say, wow, and admire. And then it will even send signals to parts of the body that will make the person sexually aroused. One of these is the breasts. Whereas you as a woman, because it's on you, you see it all the time, you touch it all the time, you can do it, do whatever you want to do with it. For the male person, when he sees it, it arouses certain emotions. You know, in the first episode, I remember the doctor mentioning something. I was like, yes, this is true.
Yes.
That just by looking at it, you feel good. And that alone releases oxytocin into your system.
Hey, which hormone is that?
Oxytocin we call it the happy hormone. The happy hormone. Now, it's a hormone that, gets released when you go through certain physical, you get a hug, even in sexual, sexual intercourse, oxytocin is released. When you are in love, when you are happy, oxytocin is released, and it is good for our well-being. So it makes it pleasant. So it's about the sight and the fact that men would normally attach sexual response to the sight of breasts.
Counselor, perfect. So let me ask you the same, but in women, why do women get so aroused or turned on when their husbands, touches their breasts?
You see, the breast is having nerves. Okay. The breast is the end part of most nerves. Okay. So if they touch it, if they stimulation, you get aroused with it. So mostly, you see, when we talk about the erotic zones of a woman, it's also part of the erotic zones. And I would say that if not all, most ladies get aroused when you touch their breast. If you touch it rightly, if you suck it rightly, they get aroused by it. But you see, with pregnancy, lactation, it can also decrease the arousal of you getting arousal through the breast because you are breastfeeding. So the constant sucking of the baby can sometimes decrease it. So sometimes when the lady is breastfeeding and the husband touches it, they are a bit numb. But after breastfeeding for some months, some women regain the sensation in the breast again. So when you tie them, they feel that edge, they feel the arousal. And also that time of the month, you realize that the breast becomes very tender. If you are about to have your menses, that is ovulation period, the breast becomes tender. So we always urge the men that know the cycle of your wife. When she's about to ovulate, when she's ovulating, and you go touching the breast, you are squeezing it, not the gentle type. It's rather discomfort. She gets rather irritating.
Yeah.
Irritated, yes, because she's also having the mood swings attached and all that. So she might reject that sucking of the breast. She might reject you touching it, not because she doesn't like it, but it's the period, the window that she's in. That is why she's acting that way. So our husbands should also take note. That you see, the breast on a woman is one of the paramount things that shows that you are a lady.
Okay.
That is one thing, because not everybody is going to have the big butt and all that, but most ladies are having at least something small to identify that they are a woman. And the size of the breast doesn't doesn't indicate the amount of milk you are going to produce. You can have a smaller breast and you are going to produce more milk. Can have bigger breast and your breast milk will not be that much, will not produce that much. So it's not about the size in breast milk production, but when it comes to sensation, even the men have it. Our husbands, when you tie the nipple, you're able to tie the nipple well and all that. They also get aroused. For the ladies, if you touch it well, the men who suck it as if they are sucking water from, no, you should be gentle. When you are touching it, you should be gentle with it because it's a sensitive organ in its own. When you do it well, you are going to arouse your woman, you are going to engage in foreplay. She'll be more, she's going to accept it and open herself more to you. But if you don't do it well, that is where you realize that she start pushing you away and telling you, hey, yeah, it's painful, just telling you that you are not doing well, or maybe it's that time of the month, so the breast is being what? Tender. And as a husband too, as you suck and as you touch, you caress the breast, you are also checking if there is any lumps in the breast. So when you are doing it for your wife, please don't just pay attention to the joy that you are getting, the arousal and the feelings, but you also check if there's any lump. Alert her that it seems I'm seeing there's a lump in the right side. I've not tried that before. It seems it's a new growth. Can you go to the hospital? Then you help your wife so that we be alive, will be by your side and help you take care of the children.
Thank you. Now, you want to add something?
Yes, I want to, comment about, touchy, dental and all that. Now, what I would say is that different women respond differently to different forms of touches. Yeah. And even in the same woman, the response may be different today.
The next time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what men would have to understand when it comes to sexual satisfaction with the breast is that know your woman.
Okay.
Man, know your woman, because there may be a time within the same woman and she would prefer that you squeeze it hard. Maybe she would prefer that you squeeze the nipple hard or you suck it in a particular way. The next day she will prefer a different response. It is all about communication. Different women respond differently. So you don't use one woman's experience to generalize it when it comes to the response. That is what I need the men to understand. Okay. So generally, women will prefer a gentle touch, a gentle suckling, a gentle, using the tongue around the areola, or sometimes beneath the breast. Yeah. These are ways in which generally, up for about 98% of women, they get aroused through the touch of the breast. Okay. However, you should know your woman and how she wants to be touched. Okay. How can you do so? The women would also have to help their husbands by communicating. Okay. Let him know that I want you to squeeze it softly, gently. I want you to squeeze it hard. Some people I have met would even tell you they prefer to have the nipple bitten. Okay. And so what you just need to know is that you need to understand what your woman wants. And then, of course, you also get satisfaction by making your woman happy. Okay. And that is what makes it enjoyable.
My lovely viewer, I want to remind you that today's episode is for the married people. So we are discussing the breast and how it can satisfy the woman and the man at the same time. Let me come back to you, love consultant. Does the size of the breast determine how romantic or how sweet or how sensational the response will be?
No, I don't think so. Okay. When it comes to sizes, it comes with our body and how we were made. And sometimes, like Mrs. Odro said earlier, sometimes even how you grew up can actually bring about the size. These are simply body parts. But the reason for the arousal and the reason is because of the nerves and the nerve endings that come there.
Okay.
And it's because a lot of nerves and at the breast, especially for the woman, that is why there is sensation. That's why there is arousal there.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter the size. As for the size, for me, I think it is for the aesthetics.
Okay.
In other words, if somebody has smaller breasts, she is beautiful as she is in her small breast, because normally God makes it such that it fits your body and your body type and all that. And you also have a man who prefers to have that kind of size. If it is big and it fits your body size, and you have a man who prefers to have that kind of size. And that's why I tell young people, when you are marrying somebody who is physically attractive to you, so that you don't go to marry big breasts and you go chasing smaller ones, and vice versa. Okay. So it is not about the size when it comes to the satisfaction and the arousal and whatnot. It is more about your body and also the preferences of the husband.
And how you can use the breast.
And how you can use it. So if a man is, for example, with a woman who has bigger breasts. Now, what happens, therefore, is that in terms of touching and in terms of using it for, pleasure, there is the way it will be held, for example. If a man is with a woman who has smaller ones, the way it will be held will be different. You can't hold, a watermelon the same way you hold an orange. So, these are different, and there are different ways in which it will be handled. And of course, like I said earlier, different women respond differently. There may be a woman whose height of arousal may be under the breast. And there may be somebody who feels on top of the world when it is on the nipple. But of course, when we are dealing with the majority of cases, we will say that majority of women are aroused on the nipple, and every woman has some.
Okay, no, so let me come to you, Councillor Perfect. It then looks like some women do not even know where their arousals or where they are quickened. Is that the need for both parties to explore their bodies, for them to know?
Yes, it's very important. You see, one aspect of marriage is you being able to explore yourselves together. So the Bible states it in a nice way that wife, you have no authority over your body. Your husband is the one who is having authority over it. And husband to your wife is having authority over your body, in the sense that for pleasure's sake, she can explore you in the right way, because now we know that people are doing things that are much more forbidden.
Channels.
Yes, a lawful thing in the bedroom, in the dark. So things that are worthy to be called as a child of God, not things that would disbase you as a human being, and things that will abuse your partner. So you need to explore each other. If you get married, the husband, you need to explore your wife to know where she's aroused when you touch her. You, the wife, too, you need to explore your husband. You see, that is the fun of being married. That is the excitement of being married. So you know every part of your husband, from his head to his toe. You have engaged all that. So it's a constant thing. It's a constant getting to know him. It's a constant even sometimes your husband doesn't know. Your wife doesn't know that the nipple is when you stimulate it in this way, they get aroused. When you use the tongue around it, they get aroused. When you just use the hands to stroke it, they get aroused. So as you do that, you bond. You get to know each other intimately. You bond with each other. So there's no secret between the two of you, because things that are not open to others, when you get to the bedroom, you can excite him by touching just little parts. You are the one who is more close to him, even than the mother, even the father. So as a husband, yes, it's very important that you explore your wife. So as doctor said earlier on, so do everything, just try it. The one that you realize that she likes, you stick with it, and you continue to change. As I said earlier on, women, we have mood swings during the ovulation time, during lactating time. So some men, even when the wives are lactating, they still also want to play with the breast. They want to suck on it and all that. You see, sometimes when you as a grown-up you do that, they feel uncomfortable. So when it's time for lactating, they are giving breast milk to your child. You allow them to. When they finish, then you can continue to have access to it. But when the child comes, allow your child to have access to. But what I'm saying is continue to explore each other. And you see, when we are talking about the breast, men also have breasts. And men also, when you tie the breast, doctor will affirm to this. Yeah. When you tie the breast with your tongue, with your tongue, when you use ice cubes on it and certain time, they also get aroused.
It's okay. Thank you. Now, confirm for me. How true is this? They say you also have some sweet sensations with your nipples. How true is it?
It is 100% true. But it is not, just like it is not every woman, it is not every man.
Okay.
And, just like I said about the women, I will say that woman, know your man.
Okay.
From head to toe, everybody has erogenous zones.
Okay.
Now, these erogenous zones, for the male, is mostly centered around the genitals.
Okay.
The females seem to have much more. There's, from the, like I said, from the hair to the toe. And so the issue of exploration is important.
Okay.
It is when you explore that you get to know that for my wife, when I touch this part of her body, this is the response we get.
Okay.
And she likes it. For my husband, when I touch this part of his body, that is what he likes, and we want it. For my wife, I never touch the left breast. Because she doesn't like it. You can only know it by exploring. And even when you say that, okay, when I touch the left, it isn't. Maybe the left breast cannot be touched only during a certain period of time.
Yeah.
So it is by experimenting and exploring and communicating. We can't rule communication out of this. Husbands and wives should talk to each other.
Okay.
You asked earlier about some women not knowing, themselves. You can't know until you have experienced it. But unfortunately, there are some marriages in which from the day they got married 32 years ago, every time it is the same thing. And then they are on. They put off the light, sleep, lie down properly, and then they are done, and then they go to bed. And they've done that for all these years, giving birth to all their children. And so they do not know the joy of exploring and enjoying it at home. I know so what we want to do is that we want to say that you need to explore. Try new things in your home.
All right. So as we try new things, let's go for a quick break. I'm reminding you that you can send in your questions, your contributions to 0559680066. Join us on Facebook, on YouTube to discuss this all-important topic. Let her breast satisfy you. This is Love at Home. We'll be back shortly. Thank you.
In a world filled with scarcity of peace and rest, but rich in chaos and pains, we cannot but ask the question, when will it all be over? Well, there is good news. Be cheerful, for we are almost home. Our home that brings an end to pain, tears and sorrow. A place where serenity reigns and joy abound. Hope Channel, in collaboration with the West Central Africa Division and Eastern Nigeria Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, brings you a 2-week revival program taking place at the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Mile 3, Port Harcourt, from 20th of October to 4th of November 2023. Come and have a sharing with Pastor Holland as he points us all on our way to the eternal home.
The Bible is clear in Revelation chapter 13 that there is a revival coming to this earth that will sweep across the world, that will deceive many, and Matthew 24 says will deceive, if possible, the very elect of God.
The program will be aired live on Hope Channel across all of Africa and the world. It will also be streamed live on YouTube and Facebook at Pentecost 2023. Come and get your breakthrough from despair and worries. Come and join our proclamation of hope to a broken world. Come and get the true assurance that we are almost home.
Praise the Lord, we're almost home.
It is often said that awareness is the first step to healing. Even in our sick world, can there be any hope? A lot of people are taking medications. And then the question is, can they stay on these medications forever? Is there any hope even in our sick world? We are battling with cancers, hypertension, diabetes, kidney diseases, and liver diseases. Are we going to prevent these things, or these things are going to lead us to death? It is based on this that the Laboni SDA Church is organizing a health campaign dubbed Staying Healthy in a Sick World, Preventing and then Reversing Lifestyle Diseases. So I am personally inviting you that you come. Let us raise the awareness of the diseases that surrounds us and how best we can prevent it. And I hope to see you there.
This event will happen on Sunday, 22nd of October 2023 to 28 October 2023, right at Laboni Nyaniba Park at Katau DSO. And each night will be meeting at 6:30 to 8 p.m.
Holy words of our faith, handed down to this age, came to us through sacrifice. Oh, heed the faithful words.
Hello, my friend. Thank you so much for not leaving the dial. You are still watching Love at Home on Hope TV, and we are discussing the breasts. As you know, the month of October is all about breasts. That is why we are creating awareness in the breast month, breast cancer, for people to know that it is real. So let's safeguard and protect our breasts, because it has so many functions, right? There are so many functions, and you need to protect yours. So we are discussing, let her breast satisfy you. This is said in the book of Proverbs chapter 5, verse 19. And Counselor Perfect and the Love Consultant, I mean, they've been talking so much about what it is in the breast and how we can use it. So we are continuing with our discussion. Now, before we left, you were saying that partners should get to know of each other. There should be more communication so that they'll be able to explore themselves better.
Exactly.
Now, do breasts play a role in the happiness of the marriage? So for me, so now we are talking about the romance aspect.
Exactly.
Without it, what is the big deal?
All right. So let me say that, well, does the breast play a role? Every part of marriage plays a role. Okay. In its happiness. Okay. I mean, in other words, if it is about the way my eyes are, the way my tongue is, the way my nose is, every part of it plays a role. However, we don't have to reduce the happiness of marriage to just body parts. Okay. Now, the breast plays a role in the sense that, now I believe that God, in His wisdom, made the breast for one, breastfeeding. But before breastfeeding is the satisfaction of the husband. Okay. Now, I say so because the breasts actually come out before babies are born. Okay. So the breast is not necessarily for just babies. Okay. That is why when one is growing and is in puberty and is getting to marriage, the person develops breast. Okay. So, and there are some stimulations, I mean, some sensations that are innate naturally that make, I mean, that brings sexual arousal. And so the person is aroused when it is touched. Before the baby is born, and then the breast milk is formed. So that the one that belongs to the baby is the milk in it.
Not the container.
Not the container. And so God naturally made it. And that is why in majority of women, it is almost 100%. About 98% of women get aroused when their breasts are stimulated. Okay. For that reason, it contributes to happiness. Because if that element of joy is not there, then it means that we would have to resort to other parts of the body for sexual pleasure, you know. And like I hinted earlier, there are so many married couples who do not really explore. Mm-hmm. They just do what they have done over and over and over. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling married couples to try to spice things up by exploring new things. And one of the ways is to suck your wife's breast, caress it. I mean, squeeze the nipple a little bit to her satisfaction, to the satisfaction of the two of you, and it makes the marriage environment a better one. Yeah. And so that is one thing that I would have to say. Okay. But because you ask if it contributes, let me say that we are talking about breast cancer. Mm-hmm. We are doing breast cancer awareness. For if you know, for some people, they are unable to detect it early, and for some reason, the breast would have to be cut off for some reason. I mean, if that happens, it doesn't end your marriage. Yeah. It doesn't end your life. And so if there's a viewer who has been through that experience, do not think that that ends the marriage. And that's why we have several erogenous zones. Yeah. So it is not only the breast. Yeah. We are focusing on that one because it is one sensitive part when it comes to satisfaction in the home. And I said earlier that the biblical text that says, let her breast satisfy you, is not only literal about the breast. It is about let your wife. Yeah. Because, so the context of that passage is marriage, and that's why we are situating this discussion in marriage. Yeah. Let your wife and everything about her and everything about your sexuality satisfy you. And so the breast is important, but in case for some reason you lose it, your marriage is still intact.
Thank you. Councillor Perfect, would you want to add something to what Doc has said?
Yeah, what I like to say is, as women, if per chance life situation happens and you have breast cancer and you need to go through surgery, you need to have it removed to work on your breast, please, it's better to live than to go on saying that, no, I can't do it. I want to have two breasts. I can't die with just one breast and all that. I can't. I need to have the two. Your life is much more important, because we have some people, some clients, when you tell them, they are more skeptical about it. They have a lot of myth that they think that if your breast is taken off, it means you are not human enough. No. It doesn't mean that if you have cancerous breast and they take it out, you go to the hospital, then they check it for you, and the necessary medical application is done for you. It doesn't mean that you are not human enough. It means that you are brave, you are bold, you love your family enough, you love yourself enough, and you want to live a better life. So please, whenever there's that choice, let's choose it. And let your husband also know that the breast, no matter how firm your breast is, it gets to a time that it is going to sag. The husbands, no matter, is going to sag. So if you always want to compare your wife to that youthful person's breast, if you are not content, that's why you start developing issues. So be content with what you have. Know that with age, with childbirth, there's going to be differences in the breast. The tissues are going to be soft. You are going to have lines on it, sometimes stretch marks due to pregnancy, due to nurturing of the child, due to age. But in all, the Bible is telling you that let her breast satisfy you. Be content with what you have. As I said earlier in my introduction, be content with what you have. If you continue looking at younger people, you continue looking at others, that's where you get what? Astray. You get involved with what? The stray woman, and it's like you are inviting what? You have fire in your bosom. It's going to burn you up. Yeah. So be content with what you have. And as we continue to also educate our women that what you have, preserve it, because you see, if you have your husband at home and you continuously tie sometimes you get so tired during pregnancy, you don't know what to do, so your breast is hanging and all that, it will not attract them. So let's learn how to package ourselves well. So you have a loose tube that you wear when you are at home so that your breast will be free, but it's not outside dangling up and all that. If you are breastfeeding too, this is one thing, you are breastfeeding all right, but it doesn't mean that in public transport, in the church, you just lower everything down. You see, the breast is a point of arousal for most men. So when you are in the public transport and your breast is just out there feeding, you are arousing somebody, you are causing somebody to sin. You are in church and you are doing that. So the best is you have a small towel.
Yeah.
So as you open the zip and do it, you cover it with that napkin or with that white towel so that people will not see your baby is feeding and you are covered. So please, let's practice that. It's important because you see some people, although they have given birth, their breast is still attractive. And you see the men watching it, they don't want to watch, I want to watch, I don't want to watch. Please, let us not tempt people.
Now, love consultant, when the breast sucks, does it change, should I say, the flavor or the arouse, I mean, how nice it is? No, not how nice, how sweet it is.
It depends. I'll say it depends in the sense that, okay, so I talked about the breast beginning to come out before childbirth. And it continues to be there even after childbirth, after breastfeeding. You know, Mrs. Odro mentioned that for most women, during breastfeeding, the sexual flavor in an adult sucking it vanishes.
Yeah.
But in quite a number of women, it doesn't.
Okay.
The way the child will suckle it
is different.
Is different from
the touch
when
is different.
The husband touches it. So she's breastfeeding all right,
yeah.
But when a different a person touches it, and of course, because they are a couple, he knows how to touch it, there is still some aspect of satisfaction, and is able to arouse the woman. So, but it's not. So, like I said, it's not with every. We can't generalize anything here. It depends on the woman. Okay. And so, for some, after breastfeeding is over, if the nerves go numb, they may remain numb. Maybe not completely numb
for a while,
but they may not be as responsive as they were before. And that is why I emphasize on continuous exploration and communication.
This one, men should know this all.
Yes, no, it's for me, it's for both men and women.
Yeah.
But then, yes, men should know that how your wife used to be before childbirth will be different or may be different after childbirth. And so if you used to handle her in a particular way and she was happy with it, and now you are trying the same thing and the response is not the same, so that means that she has to respond. And that's where the communication comes. She has to respond so that you change your style.
Change your style?
Exactly. You don't keep on doing the same every day granule soup, You need to add some contemporary to the granule soup and get in cutting contour. No, so what I'm trying to say is that you should keep exploring. You should keep changing your style to get it as it is. So after childbirth, after breastfeeding, maybe she has breastfed 3 children, plus you 4, and somehow there is sagging. For a number of women, it doesn't change the sensation. If you touch it, it is still sensitive. For some, there may be some changes. So know your wife.
Okay.
And make sure you handle her as such.
Okay. Now, we have some women who will go for some forms of enhancement of the breast. Does it play any role in romance or lovemaking or whatever?
Okay, so, I was having a program and I think the question that the person asked is similar to yours about whether it affects breastfeeding. My answer was no, it doesn't. However, it's a cosmetic surgery that they do. it is to enhance it, it is to lift it and do that. Most of the time, the people who do it are those who are done giving birth. They do that. So it takes off the natural element. However, in some of these surgeries, it doesn't touch on the nerves.
Oh, okay.
And so if you are still able to identify where to touch and touch properly, you can get it. But a number of people also think that somehow once you have once you have done something that changes the natural order, things change, and it doesn't give the very best flavor that it should give. Okay. The other side is whether it will be a sin or not. But that is that's not what we want to discuss here.
Thank you. Now, Councillor Perfect.
Hello.
Do you want to add something to what Love Consultant just said?
Yeah, in as much as we are talking about breast cancer and creating awareness on it, we'll advocate that the natural is the best. Okay. You see, love yourself enough that no matter what, if it's not cancerous, if it's not a lump and all that, and if it's not the too much that you want to undertake, don't go and be implanting anything, silicone, and putting things there and all that. You see, we have the natural order. If you change it, it becomes abnormal. And anything abnormal is not from God. It's not good. So as God has created you, because of sin, we are living with a lot of defect and all that. But in as much as you are a Christian, you are a Seventh-day Adventist, as God has created you, let you as a woman, your breast also be enough for you. You see, if you have the breast, if you have bigger ones, how you dress with it, how bold you walk with it, makes people even like you. If you have small one, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, make people like you. So if you have a lot of breast and because of that, your self-confidence is low, you want to do other things, it will not help. God is having purpose. Small. Yes, God is having purpose for everything He created. So what you have, own it, be confident about it. Don't let anybody look down on you. And one thing that will amaze you is we have people that if you are very busty, that's the type that they want. Yeah. If you have just small breast, just about that is what they want. So we have every preference. Men have preference for. It's not just one cow fits all thing that we are talking about. So maybe generally what we see on social media, craving for that type, but you have your type also there. Just rely on God and pray. You are going to have a man that will adore you because of what you are having, the load you are having, because of the small that you are having. So believe in yourself, know that you are created in the image of God. Own it and be confident about it. Don't go and do anything, adding anything up. It's not the best.
Okay, so please cancel us in a minute.
Yeah, so to all my ladies, it's breast cancer awareness month. What I'll say is this is an opportunity to get yourself screened. This is an opportunity to go to the health facility. We have a lot of NGOs, a lot of hospitals running screening and giving awareness. Please don't take it that it's for other people. It's not for me. It can't happen to me. You see, just take this opportunity and get yourself screened for it. And I will say that whatever situation that you are in, God loves you and God is able to heal you and take off you if you allow God to. Don't look down upon yourself. Be confident in yourself. And no matter the size of breast that you have, be confident in yourself. Learn how to dress appropriately, how to suit that type, and you are going to attract the man that you want. And if you're a married person, know that if your breast is sagging, you will not have that type of breast you are having. No, you used to have. Know that it's for a purpose. You use it to nurture. You should be proud of yourself. And let's keep our breast neat. Let's change the black brown to a different one. The black, the brown, please. If you have not washed it, wash it. Those of you have been using for a whole year, you have not changed. Change it because it also attracts germs and it's not the best. Let's keep ourselves clean so that when our husband comes close to us, they are going to enjoy fondling and enjoy touching us, and let us also be open. Let's communicate. When they touch us, and feeling good about it. Let us say it. And I'd like to say that on 27th, we are having a breast cancer screening, Perfect Cancers Network, for students of St. John's Grammar School and staff. So if you pass round to a lady, you get opportunity to be screened by medical doctors and health staff. So you are all welcome. If you are around Achimota, Domi Pabenya, you can pass through St. John's and get screened.
All right, thank
Free.
you. Now, let me come to you, Love Consultant. Somebody just sent me a message saying that he's going out with a lady. The lady has just been diagnosed of breast cancer, and it looks like it's going to be cut off. He wants to back out.
Is it going to be cut off, or the lump is going to be removed? I don't know the stage in which it has reached. But no matter what the situation is, I think this is when she needs him the more. Even if you have you have another reason to back out of the relationship. I mean, I will not say don't, but you don't have to let her health situation make you back out, especially at this point. It is going to be devastating and depressing. But the point is that no matter how bad it is, once it's detected and early enough, it is the best. And that is what I'll say to everybody. Early detection is key. But this gentleman and probably the lady would need further counseling. Yeah.
All right. So on this note, it has been a wonderful discussion. I've learned so much, and I want to thank you, Love Consultant. God bless you for coming, for sharing your knowledge. Then Mrs. Odro, perfect. The name is gone. Counselor Perfect. Thank you so much for the good jobs you are doing. We appreciate what you are doing. And to you out there, I say thank you. Thank you, thank you. Let's keep on discussing this breast issue. We shouldn't just end it in the month of October. Let's discuss it every day, because it is another health issue that must be discussed every day. Then we keep on checking, and we don't wait till the whole year round before we come back talking about breast care. Until same time next week, when next week is going to be another amazing discussion, same on breast. Thank you for watching, and good night. Bye-bye.